As you've learned it previously in this tutorial, inside src, let's create a folder called store. And let's install those two packages, yarn add, react, redux, and Redux Toolkit at react.js/toolkit. Inside our store folder, let's create a file called store.ts. I don't want to waste your time. I've done those steps before, so let me do it real quick, and I will show the code after I finished. Now I have done with the store. As you see, I'm just imported the configure store from Redux.js toolkit, and I've created a constant called store with the configure store. Here I'm gonna put the reducers that we're gonna create. I'm gonna put the cart reducer, okay? Now we just need to connect our store with our React code. So in app.tsx, let's add a provider. We import it from React Redux. As you see here, this provider take a property called store, and we just select our store that we have created. That's store, and let's press save. We have here warning because we didn't add any reducers yet, because our initial state, we store it inside our reducers, okay? So now let's create our first reducer, and it's gonna be cart reducer.ts. The reducer is like the store. I have created a video that describes how to create a reducer, and I don't want to waste your time, so let me do it real quick, and I'm gonna show the code as I have done with the store, okay? So let me do it quickly. So now I am done with our cart reducer. You can take a look here. I'm just imported the create slice and the payload action because I'm gonna need it when we type our TypeScript code. That's the initial state, and it's an item or cart items. It refers to all the data that we're gonna put here in our cart. And to create a reducer, we need to create a slice. We need to use this function and give it those three properties: the name and the initial state and the reducers. We're gonna update the state using those reducers here. If you see those things are hard, please go back and check the video of reducers in Redux Toolkit tutorial, okay? Now let's go and import this reducer to our store to hide the warning, okay? So let's import it. Import cart reducer, and let's give it a property name with cart. Now let's press save. Now we have created our store and our reducer. Now to update our state, we need to create our actions. The first actions that we're gonna create is add item. We need to create 3 actions, and those actions are add item, remove item, clear cart. Those are the 3 actions that we're gonna create to manage the global state here in this app, and to create our cart here and manage those prices and those numbers, okay? So don't miss the next lesson that we're gonna create add item to the cart. Now let's add our global state to our first button. This button has a 5. Let's open a food screen called food screen. You can find it in screens, food screen. If you have a look here, you're gonna notice that we have here a 5. If we make it 10, it became 10. That's totally wrong. We want to make that number the number inside our items here, inside our cart items, okay? So let's use our useSelector. Let's go here. Const equals to useSelector. State goes to state dot. Let's add our root state type to help us And to use TypeScript, that is gonna help us to show those options. And in destruction too. So we have here the items. That is an empty array, okay? We just go down here and instead of type 10, let's just type items dot length. And it became 0 because we got nothing in the cart. If we go to the cart and add any object, it became 1. If we add another object, it became 2. So now let's make it empty, this global state to be a 0. And when we create our actions, we're gonna update the items, then this number will get updated. Okay?